Who deserves more credit? Stafford, McVay?
Sean McVay. Sean McVay's not getting enough credit, Sal, over the course of this playoff run, over the course of this Super Bowl. All we've talked about, Stafford. Is Stafford a Hall of Famer? Is Stafford a first ballot Hall of Famer? Look at what Stafford did for these Rams. But I got to remind everybody, Sean McVay had to keep Matthew Stafford from himself during that Super Bowl. Because Matthew Stafford was once again going to Stafford later on in that game.
What's that? What's that?
On Stafford.
Is that a verb?
It is. It's an action.
It's an action?
Because of losing a game by means of interceptions.
Wow.
Matthew Stafford was about to start Staffording.
Okay.
And somehow, some way, Sean McVay was like, nope. I'm not about to let you cost us the game, so let me completely revamp this game. Even though I know we're only averaging 1.57 yards a carry, I'm just simply going to continue to run the ball, because if I just leave it in Stafford's hands, who now has thrown 2 interceptions and no touchdowns in the 2 quarters after Odell Beckham's injury, then we might end up faltering. We might end up falling. Matthew Stafford played well enough to win. Obviously, they won. But Sean McVay had to make sure that Matthew Stafford did not hurt himself and Matthew Stafford did not hurt the team. Remember, Sel, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It's not a good day for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford only threw 2 or more picks 5 times in that 17-game season. If you include the 17 games plus the playoffs, Matthew Stafford only threw 2 or more picks 5 times in 20 games. 25% of the time did Matthew Stafford throw 2 or more picks. Yet in the biggest game of your life, you throw 2 or more picks? Problem. Matthew Stafford's completion percentage, regular season, 67%. Super Bowl, 65%. Now, not that far off, but what I'm saying is, it's not as though Matthew Stafford played better than his former self. It's not as though Matthew Stafford played better than Joe Burrow. Matthew Stafford just was on the team that won the game, and kudos to him, he played good enough to win. But Sean McVay dictated the team that won the game. I got to give Sean McVay the credit.
Oh, goodness, you gave me so much ammunition. Oh, Mama, I can't eat all these ribs, but I'm going to try. Here we go, Acho. Who deserves more credit? You know it is Matthew Stafford. Let's start here. Before the 2021 season, who was Sean McVay? A genius coach who had went to a Super Bowl. Who was Matthew Stafford? Guy who couldn't even win a playoff game. Oh, my God. And what changed for these same Rams? That's their starting point. Their ending point is the same. But what changed? Oh, Matthew Stafford came in and got him over the hump. But Sean McVay was already there. So who deserves credit for getting him over the hump? Simply, you would think it was Matthew Stafford, but you don't think it's that simple. So let's go deeper. The genius in the head coach of Sean McVay, when he first hit the scene, I was here. I don't know where you were in 2017. Let me know, homeboy. Where were you?
I was trying to make it.
You were
local television, baby.
Okay. So Big 12, Big 13?
Fox 7 Austin.
Fox 7 Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, with the weatherman? Oh, I hate them dudes when they get the little infomercial. All right, anyway, you're here now. 2017, first in scoring offense. Okay. Hit the ground running, right? 11 wins. Damn, we lost in the wild card. Okay, next year, second in scoring offense. You go, Sean McVay. Go to the Super Bowl and lose. Who cares? You went against Belichick. We get it. Next year, start getting a little trying out here. 11th. Year after that, all of a sudden, 22nd. And all of a sudden now we hear a little bit of scapegoat, let's call it, Jared Goff, John Wolford Reserve. Y'all the problem. I need me a real quarterback. And that thing that was trending from 1 to 2 to 11 to 22, all of a sudden, you ever been on a plane with that real turbulence? I ain't talking about just like a think where the captain got to speak. This your captain speaking. Just want to let you guys know. Yeah, from 20 seconds, out of that turbulence, back to 7th, back to top 10. And only one thing changed in dynamic. It was a different quarterback. It was Matthew Stafford, who deserves the credit. Matthew Stafford not only got this team a ring, Matthew Stafford also saved this offense that was going the wrong way, headed south fast, under a genius offensive-minded head coach. So you give me something to counter those 2 things, but I know why you said, and this is how you started it off, Sean McVay's not getting enough credit this postseason run. Want to know why he's not getting enough credit? Because, frankly, doesn't deserve more credit. Matthew Stafford came in here and saved the day.
Okay, I like that take. Hard to push back on because Stafford obviously did a lot this season. But, so you know about two things, variables and fixed, right?
Oh.
Variable, it constantly changes. Fixed, you know exactly what it is. A home mortgage, for example, that is a fixed cost. It's going to be the same each and every month. But the electric bill, that's a variable cost. It's going to go up and down dependent upon how much electricity you use every month. Fixed and variable. Why do I bring that up? Because Sean McVay is a fixed head coach. You know exactly what you are going to get from Sean McVay. Sean McVay was always good, whether Jared Goff was at the helm, whether John Wolford was at the helm, regardless of who was at the helm. Sean McVay was always good in coaching a good team. However, Matthew Stafford is a variable performer. Depending upon who is out there with him, his performances go up and down. We have to look no further than Matthew Stafford with Odell Beckham and without Odell Beckham in the biggest game of his career. We have the full screen. Let's go to it when the time allows. Because without Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford was 9 of 17. Without Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford had no passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Without Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford's passer rating was 27. Without Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford had 86 yards. But with Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford, 10 of 12, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 140 yards. So Matthew Stafford was a variable performer in the Super Bowl. But remember, Sean McVay, at his worst, still a 9-win head coach at his worst. Sean McVay, even without Matthew Stafford, was in a Super Bowl. Sean McVay, without Matthew Stafford, had coached a #1 offense in the league. Had coached a #2 offense in the league. To your point, obviously, he coached a #22 offense, but let's not
You want to screw over that?
I'm highlighting it.
Okay.
You made that point.
Yeah,
Let's not forget, Jared Goff was also injured last year. So Sean McVay is fixed. He's always great. Matthew Stafford, variable. Give me fixed because I know exactly what's coming in and I know exactly what's going out. Sean McVay, more important.
Oh, man, I love you. I hate to get personal, but hey, what's the use of coming up here and not opening up our lives, opening up our hearts to those fans that are invested in our show? So let's do it. I saw on Instagram recently, I don't know, a guy looked just like you, but his haircut was a little tighter, but basically you, right? He was in the backyard, and he said, I didn't know what to do today, so I bought a home. You know who that guy is? Is it you?
I have a brother that looks like me.
Yeah, but he looks better. It was you. It was you, Emmanuel Acho, right? Now, you said fixed and variable. I don't want to get into your business, but I know how much your house costs, and I ain't going to tell them that. Woo, this boy with it. But I don't know what type of mortgage you got, but have you ever seen, as they call them, an ARM mortgage, adjustable rate mortgage, you know, where it's going to be fixed for a certain amount of time, and then it's going to adjust for a certain amount of time. I don't know what you know about mortgages, but I don't also know what you know about football teams because Sean McVay had hit his own ceiling. Sean McVay, in his greatness, individually and as the head coach of this team, had plateaued. He realized, even with Jared Goff, I got to the Super Bowl, but I can't go any farther unless I go get me a real one. And then when he got that real one, in year 1, without him having a ton of chemistry and a ton of reps with this team, went out there and saved the 22nd ranked offense in scoring and put them in 7th. And then more importantly, took a team that hadn't been to the Super Bowl in a few years and took them to the Super Bowl and won that same Super Bowl. The same quarterback who was 6th in passer rating, you want to bring that up, 3rd in passing yards per attempt, 4th in passing yards per game, 2nd in the league in passing touchdowns. Dog, he got him a top 5 dude, and all of a sudden he had a top 10 offense again and finally got over the hump. So, Acho, not going to dig into the details of your mortgage, but after the show, man, you're going to chop it up. We got to talk about them arms, brother.
But think about this, Sal. Matthew Stafford went to a team that was already really good. There's no debating that. He went to a team that was already really good, and he helped make that team great. But Sean McVay made that team really good. And so when we're talking about it, it's like Sean McVay took a team that was bad and made them really good.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford took a team that was really good and made them great. The distance from bad to really good is a much greater distance traveled than the distance from really good to great. The distance that Sean McVay had to travel with Stafford was simply Super Bowl loss to Super Bowl win. One game. The distance that Matthew Stafford had to travel, a large number of games. It's like, we know this. There are probably a couple of quarterbacks who could have won the Super Bowl with this team. Probably 5 to 8.
Yeah.
I think we can probably agree on, especially depending on how Matthew Stafford played, probably 5 to 8. Number of coaches that without Odell Beckham, without Tyler Higbee, when the Bengals take the lead, 4th and 1 game on the line and you're averaging 1.5 yards a carry. Number of coaches that could have coached the Rams out of that predicament, that number is smaller than the number of quarterbacks that could have led the Rams to the Super Bowl. I'm thinking about this on the spot, not even prep for this part.
My dog.
That actually probably is what makes the most sense and is the strongest argument for Sean McVay.
Let's go.
Because when we think about it, the quarterbacks that were active this year, Tom Brady with the Rams could have got the job done. Josh Allen with the Rams could have got the job done. You're not going to disagree with Justin Herbert with the Rams, could have got the job done. I doubt you will disagree that, I'm not going to say Dak Prescott. Aaron Rodgers with the Rams could have got the job done. Patrick Mahomes with these Rams could have got the job done. Now things you want to get a little bit dicey, that's when you get to the Daks, that's when you get to the Murrays, that's when you get to the Russell Wilsons. I'm not even going to go all there. Well, we can throw in at least one of those guys. 6 quarterbacks call it, whether Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. 6 quarterbacks on this Rams team could have got the job done. But you think 6 coaches? With Matthew Stafford having thrown 2 picks after Odell goes out the game, with Tyler Higbee hurt, Bengals take the lead late in the 4th quarter, 6 minutes left, game on the line, 4th and 1. You need one call. Haven't run an end around in 3 to 4 weeks. You can't run the ball with Cam Akers. You can't run the ball with Henderson. You got to have it. 6 to 8 coaches, not doing that. Only Sean McVay, maybe Shanahan, maybe Andy Reid that I believe in to get that job done. With that being said, what Sean McVay did is harder to do than what Matthew Stafford did.
You saved your best for last, and I was hoping you didn't go to that place because I have no counter. I don't know if you've ever been questioned by the police. You ever been arrested? I have. They expunged my record, so I shouldn't even have said that because y'all would have never found out, but it happened. One thing that we all know, even watching Law & Order, shout out to Anthony Anderson, too, my dog, Compton in the house once again. When you're under questioning and investigation, don't say anything. Now, there's an inclination for you to say something because you think it's going to help you. But you don't know the entire perspective and scope of the investigation. So what you think can help you can come back to hurt you, even though you think you're doing yourself a favor. Now, why do I say that? Because I'm not going to say anything right now. You got me. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. If we had the draft right now, and this is what you had to draft, you either get to pick the head coach and Sean McVay for your team, the Achos.
I like this.
Or you had to go out there and get you your franchise quarterback, and it's going to be Matthew Stafford. Who would you draft?
I'd take Sean McVay, but let's discuss this because it's a great question.
Okay.
Who are you taking? You taking Stafford out of
I'm taking Sean McVay, too. I'm not arguing with you. You kidding me? He's a genius. He did most of the work. But, hey, he got to a point where you couldn't do any more. This is why a lot of companies, they merge and they get acquired because they can't take it any farther. So which one you going to say? The big, huge conglomerate that comes in and say, yeah, we'll take that from you. Like Instagram. Facebook was sitting there like, oh, that's cute. $1 billion. Hey, you 2 founders, give me that. And they sold it. Now, at the time, that was a tremendous sale. Not now. You look at Instagram now, was it worth $80, $90 billion? But point being, in that moment, they had plateaued. And I think that's what this team looked like before, Matthew Stafford.
I love that. But the most important question of the first 14 minutes of the show is this. Matthew Stafford, McVay, what'd you get arrested for?
Ooh, expunged. I used to be a shoplifter. I told you that, man.
You a klepto?
Hell yeah. And a pyro. But they ain't catch me for burning stuff, but they called me for stealing them shirts.